guys, welcome to my channel Vinyl Beauty, or welcome back. I'm Debbie if you don't know me. So I'm really excited for today's video because it's going to be a collab with my friend Steff from Steff's Beauty Stash. We collabed together last year and we did a festive makeup tag and a bit of a get ready with me, and it was so much fun. And she's just asked me if I wanted to do another one but for spooky season. So this is going to be the spooky season tag. We're going to be answering questions from all sorts of categories, so anything Halloween or spooky season related, not just the makeups of movies, candy, decorations, anything to do with Halloween. So if you're wanting a video to get you into the spooky season and you just want to hang out with us while we do a full face of makeup and answer these questions, then this is the video for you. So let's just jump straight into it. Okay guys, I've brought you in a little bit closer so that we can do the makeup, but before we get into it, just a little bit about Steff if you don't know her. I'll pop up a picture for you, but Steff is primarily a review channel covering indie makeup mostly, and what sets her apart for me though, apart from the fact that she's got such a bubbly, lovely personality, is just her passion for makeup, but also that she always does multiple looks with eyeshadow palettes. So even if you're not wanting to buy something new, you can always find inspiration on her channel, and she generally gives you some comparisons of what she is reviewing with things that you might already have as well. So yeah, I think even if you're on a low buy, no buy, you'd still get a lot out of Steff's channel because of all the inspiration of the incredible makeup looks that she does. She just works so hard, and yeah, we've been friends for 3 or 4 years now, I think, because I left a comment on one of her videos, and yeah, we just stayed friends ever since. So super thrilled to be doing this. Let's get on with it. So what I'm going to do is do the makeup and sort of answer the questions as I go along. So it's not going to be so much about the makeup, but we are going to be using this today, which is the Give Me Glow Bad Witch Club, because I'm dying to use it again. When I first used this, it wasn't Halloween time and didn't buy it at Halloween, which is why. So really excited to use it again. We're going to start with foundation. Always use the Eyeshadow one at the moment, so I'm going to be doing that and answering our first question. So the first question is, what is your guilty pleasure Halloween movie? So this one's going to be quite easy for me, and I don't know whether it's going to mean anything to anyone that's not from the UK though, because I don't know how much these movies like transferred across the pond or not. I think they will have done, but it's Carry On Screaming. So I love the Carry On movies. So if you don't know what they are, they're sort of parodies of things. So the premise of this movie is just, there's lots of innuendo in them, but kind of like, you know, just in a funny way. They're very much of their time. But Carry On Screaming, the premise is that these girls are all being abducted and then they're being turned into like waxwork sort of shoproom dummies. But it's got all of like your usual suspects of like the classic Halloween characters. So like Frankenstein's monster and that kind of thing is in it. So it's been a long time since I've seen it actually, so when I was thinking like how I would answer some of these questions, I was like, I really need to see it again, because yeah, it's funny and it's kind of spooky, and it just takes me back to my childhood because we would watch it at home and my dad loved it so much, and anything my dad loved I've got so many like lovely memories for. So yeah, that's my guilty pleasure. Just going in with a bit of concealer. Good old Revolution Conceal and Hydrate that I have about 6 of, and that I think is discontinued. You don't see anything new base makeup wise on my channel, because when I find something I like, I just use the hell out of it. So that's what I do, because everything I want to buy is eyeshadow or blush or lipstick, like the exciting bits of makeup. Steff does lots of reviews of foundation. They're always interesting, but I just stick with what works for me really. But the next question is, what is your favourite Halloween decoration? Now, Halloween isn't really the thing, or totally isn't the thing in the UK that it is in the States. So we don't really go big on decorating as such. I do it obviously for my channel, and I've got more into it since I've kind of mixed more with people from the States, but prior to that, it was just one day. It was just like the end of October, maybe a couple of days, and that would be it. But since getting into it more, I bought this, and it's not a decoration as such, but I love it. So it's the cauldron from Hocus Pocus, and it says it's just a bunch of Hocus Pocus on there, and it's even got the spoon, look. I've never used it. I do use it as a decoration in my movie room and I love it. So I guess you would say that is my favourite decoration because I use it as a decoration. So I'm going to powder now. I find this foundation, which was the Shiseido Skin Refreshing Foundation, to leave it quite shiny, which I don't mind, but thought I'd use some loose powder today. And I'm going to go in with the KVD Translucent Setting Powder. And this is so old. It's from when Kat Von D was at the helm of the brand, and it was like the brand to buy from. And I've got a tiny bit of it left, but I love this powder. I think they still do it. I'm hoping it might just mattify me off a little bit. It's also super warm today. It's not Halloweeny at all today in the UK. We've got Indian summer going on. It's like 22 degrees centigrade, what's that, in the 70s today. Sunny outside, and it's super warm under these lights, so you'll have to forgive me if I look a little bit shiny. But I really wanted to film this today to make sure that I can get it up on time. I'm pre-filming it a little bit, which I don't always do. I don't want to let Steff down, and I've got family coming the weekend it's supposed to be going up, so filming this a week before it goes up, which is really not like me. I normally film on the day things go up. Okay, question number 3 then, and I think I forgot to tell you at the start that there's 10 questions in the tag, but yeah, question number 3 is what's the oldest and newest Halloween eyeshadow palette in your collection? So the oldest is this one, and oh, I still love it. I talk about it every time I talk about my palettes. This is the LA Splash Classic Horror. This is the sleeve from it, and then this is the artwork from it, and it's super cool. The artwork goes onto the back as well, and I think this is about 4 years old now. I can't remember. It's the first Halloween kind of one I bought, but it's a rainbow palette of mattes, but yeah, it's just something really cool about it. I love it. And the newest palette in my collection, I haven't even filmed with as I'm filming this. Hopefully if things go to plan, this video with this palette I'm going to show you will have gone up by the time I film this one, but I've not filmed with it yet. And it's the Jolie Beauty Carnival palette. So Jolie Beauty is a UK based indie brand, and they're quite big palettes, which is what stopped me buying from them before. And they do have pressed glitters in there. But the colour story of this palette is Halloween in a palette, isn't it? It's just absolutely beautiful. It's mostly matte, so I thought it's all the colours I might want at Halloween time, all in one palette. But yeah, super cool. So very excited to start filming with that one. I'm just going to whiz off camera and do my brows, and I'll be back. Okay, so brows are on, and I'm going to be on to blush and contour. And a really spooky product, I think. This is the Lunatics Cosmetics Labs Contour Book 1, which I adore. I've had this for ever and ever as well. And it's always listed in my description box because I use it every time I do my makeup. But it's just got all of the colours that you want. I do a contour mixing these 3 colours together, and I think I'm going to use that one for blush today. Don't usually use this for blush, but I want to sing a little bit neutrally for blush so that I can go a bit crazy with my highlight today. And then I'll answer another question while I'm doing that. So number 4, which YouTube channel is your go-to for spooky season? Well, she's spooky all year round, but I really think that Betty Jean or Batty Bean comes into her own at spooky season, so I love watching her vlogs of her like Halloween decor hunting and setting up all her beauty room background and just all the spooky things that she's getting to do, because as I say, there's not so many spooky things going on in the UK, so it's great to see all of like the, I don't know, the Mickey's Not So Scary or whatever you've got going on at Disney. And yeah, so I love following her at this time of year. And Ali Dawson does her Vlogoween, which always gets me into the spooky spirit. What I'm really missing this year is channels that do like character makeup. So if you guys have got any suggestions, because there seems to be less and less people doing that. I used to love Heather Morehouse or Makeup Mouse. Don't know if you guys can remember her. Still love watching her channel, or Pompberry, or just any that did the creative like character looks. Atlee, do you remember her channel? She's Ash Levi now. But yeah, anyone that was doing that kind of creative stuff, because I just can't do it, and I wouldn't even dare to try. I'm not a makeup artist by any stretch of the imagination. but I just love seeing the talent that goes into that. And yeah, so if there's any that you think I should be watching, please let me know, because I'd love to watch some more of that kind of content and try and learn, because like the shade and light of things really fascinates me, of how you can like really like sculpt and contour your face for like a spooky like skull or something like that. It's the sort of thing I just don't know where to start with. I'd love to learn. Question number 5, would you rather be a ghost for a day or a witch for a day? I think this question's super fun. There's fors and against for both, I think. So if you were a ghost, obviously no one would be able to see you, so that'd be kind of cool, because you could get up to all sorts, couldn't you? Nobody would really know. You could be creating all sorts of mayhem, scaring people. But then I think if you're a ghost, you're a tortured soul, aren't you? So you know, you're not at peace, you're not at rest, and so I don't know whether that would be too much fun. So I think I'd rather be a witch, because I'd be magical then, and I'd be able to cast spells, and I could probably turn myself into a ghost for a day if I wanted to, if I was a witch. And I love cats. I've got my spooky cat earrings on today, and witches have cats, so I think, yeah, I think I'd be a witch for a day. And I think that would be super, super fun. I want to be an extra in Hocus Pocus. I would love it. That's so nice as a blush. I've never really worn this as a blush. So I say, I stick to those 3 colours all the time. I need to get another pan of the lightest colour, because I've hit pan on it. But you can replace these, I think. Talking of Hocus Pocus, we're going to use this today as highlight. So it's a Soul Body highlight in Find the Book that came out with the Hocus Pocus 2 collection from Colourpop last year. And it's a shimmering green shade. It looks white in the pan, of course, but it is a green and it's beautiful. And I think it'll go with the look I'm planning. And question number 6 is, what Halloween movie character or urban legend would you like to see turned into an eyeshadow palette or a makeup collection? I'm going to cheat on this one because it says just like a character, but it's more so a franchise and it's not a movie. But I'd love to see the Munsters turned into an eyeshadow palette, or yeah, even a collection. I used to love watching that growing up. I don't know how much scope there'd be because it was in black and white as far as I can remember. Do you guys remember it? It's from the 60s, it used to be on our TV in the 70s, but I do see like people doing character looks of Herman Munster or Lily Munster, but yeah, I would really love to see that. I think it'd be fun, and I don't know if anyone's ever done it either, because we see a lot of the same things, don't we? We see all of the like Beetlejuice collabs, or even Nightmare Before Christmas been done before, Hocus Pocus been done a couple of times, but we don't see something like the Munsters. Got a story about that actually. There was a Barbie Munsters, like Barbie do special edition kind of character Barbies, and I was in New York. It was like I was in my late 20s, so we're talking a long time ago, but they had this set of Barbie as the Munsters, so both Barbie and Ken as the Munsters, and I think it was about $25, and at the time I decided I only had the money to buy some Nike trainers, or sneakers I guess if you're in the States, or to get this Barbie. And I kept looking at it and trying to decide whether I wanted to get it, and I was like, it won't go in the suitcase because I want to keep it in the box. So I didn't get it, and I've regretted it ever since. I've since thrown those trainers in the bin long ago, because as I say, it's more than 20 years ago, but I still think about that Barbie even now. So I had a look on eBay to see if I could find it, but it's going for like £500 or £600 now. So yeah, I'd love to own that, and I've got a bit of a thing about the Munsters. The other thing that I would love to see, I don't think anyone's done, which has got a lot more colour to it, would be to do Hotel Transylvania, because there's been 4 movies, so there's obviously a bit of love for the series for them to have done 4. But as I say, there's so much like scope for colour in that while still being spooky, and I think it might appeal to quite a few people. So I'd love to see that. I'd love to see just something different that we don't see all the time. And I'm really cheating on this one because there's one other one I'd like to see which has been done before, which is Corpse Bride, but specifically I want Melt to do it, because Melt are my favourite brand and I just know they do it in such a cool way. So yeah, lots of ideas that I'd like to see. But it's so cool seeing all of these horror franchises brought to life this year by Glamlight. I don't think there's ever been a year where there's been so many like themes and things taken and made into collections as this year. So yeah, really exciting. Now as I'm using the Give Me Glow Bad Witch Club and I had success with this primer last time, I'm going to use the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. It's been ages since I've used it. I was using it all the time in every look, and then I bought my Juvia's Eye Prep Eye Prime and I've been using that. But this really makes colours pop, and it's a bit grippy as well, so it really helps to like hold the pigment down and where you want it, but also make it really bright. Don't know anyone else that uses this as a primer anymore, but I saw this on YouTube when I first started watching, and it just stuck with me as being a good idea to use a white base with pretty much everything, because it really does make colours pop. I was using a black base to make a multi-chrome pop. I think a white's one of the best options. So our next question is, what is your most favourite and least favourite Halloween candy? So even the phrase candy, like in the States, I think that covers everything, doesn't it? Like, but for us we'd have chocolate or sweets. I think candy is all of it. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know. But we don't have anything specifically like that's Halloween. Like you guys have, if you're from the States, you have candy corn, don't you? Don't even know what that tastes like, and yeah, we don't have anything like that. But at any time of the year, Cadbury's Dairy Milk is where it's at, and it beats US chocolate hands down in my book. Not even up for debate. It's so good, and I think even Americans love dairy milk. So, and if I can find it in spooky kind of shapes or whatever, then even better, but I'm all about the chocolate. So we're going to go into the Bad Witch Club, and I'm so excited. I love Give Me Glow, as you guys know, and I think this is one of their best colour stories ever. Like, it's just so witchy and Halloweeny. So I used all the more red kind of shades last time, so I'm going to do a traditional purple and green kind of look, I think, today. I think what I'm going to do is do the green in the upper part, and I'm going to put the purple shimmer on my lid, kind of like a spotlight, and then purple on my lower lash line. I think that might be fun. So I'm going to start with the shade, let me spell it out for you. I have the best shade names in here. I'm going to start in the inner part, because I'm going to do a sort of halo situation. Let's start packing that down in the inner and outer. And this is a really pigmented green. This is stunning, and see what I mean about this primer really grips the product. It's like, if you want to get things ultra pigmented, it's not the easiest to blend over, but one of you guys know me to really blend a look too much in any case. If you're from these parts, I don't really care about that. I really care about like getting a deeply pigmented, like dramatic look. I am going to blend it, don't worry, but definitely want to see that pigment, and that's what you get when you use a white primer, even with a dark shade, I think. The outer part of my eye, I've gone in with a bit bigger brush because I've got a bit bigger of an area to pack that down. I need to make sure I've gone up high enough, because that's another thing that I tend not to do with a halo eye, so trying to be careful. Can't answer a question while I'm doing this part because I need to make sure I don't mess it up. Okay, so we've got the colour down, just going to fluff around the edges and we can move on to the next question. So question number 8 was, what's your most memorable Halloween costume? Well, again, because Halloween isn't as big as it is in the States, I haven't really worn a huge amount of Halloween costumes, I have to say. But I did always like to dress up kind of on theme if I was having a night out just drinking around town, which is kind of what I would do at Halloween time. And so I'll pop up a picture of really the last time that I went out drinking around town, because I don't anymore. Kind of get beyond that point as you get a bit older that you don't want to go out clubbing and partying, but this is the very last time, and I think it's about 7 years ago, and I kind of had a nod to going as a little red devil, but I wanted something that I could like wear again afterwards, and I can still get in this outfit. And this was before I really knew how to do makeup as well, so the brows look terrible. I just done like black eyeshadow through my brows and not done a very good job of it, and that's when I started to realise I need to get some makeup skills to be able to pull some of these things off. But yeah, still got that outfit to this day, and I can still get into it, which I'm super proud about. So maybe I should wear it again this year, just to sit at home and watch Halloween movies. I have still got the headdress, and I do wear that in my videos sometimes. I probably will do a red devil look this year, or something with red in it anyway, to be kind of a nod to that. I don't want to take the green out too far because I'm doing purple on the bottom, but I'm going to be doing a wing, so it'll kind of cut through that in any case. And I'm going to go into Why the Resting Witch Face. Whoever named these like needs an award just for that. They're just so funny. I'm just using that just to properly blend around the edges. And as I say, blending is, well, it's not my thing really. I'm pretty bad at it. And I don't think I'm ever going to get better at it, so you guys just have to put up with it. So I'm just using that shade just to fluff around the edges. It's not particularly different, it'll just give us a bit of a blend, hopefully. Kind of going backwards and forwards between the two shades and the two colours, just to try and make it a little bit more seamless than it is now. So on to question number 9. What are your go-to colours for eyeshadow for Halloween or fall? I'll probably cover both in this because I like pretty much the same for both, but I think more so for Halloween I'd either go for reds and blacks and silvers, or maybe a combination of purple and green like I'm doing now. They sort of sum up the season, but then I do like a sort of pumpkin orangey kind of look as well, and that's probably more so for fall I suppose, but also for Halloween because I think it is a, you know, it's a pumpkin, isn't it, so it's a Halloween thing. So that would be my 3. So the combination of green and purple, mostly red and black and silver, and then with a bit of orangey warmth thrown in as well, depending on my mood, because often it's all to do with that as well with me. I'm going to go in with the purple now, which is, I'm 100% that witch, and that's going on my lower lash line, really close to my lashes. This might end up muddying up just in this corner, but you're not going to see it because I'm going to put a wing through it. That's my top tip if you're messing with colours that don't really work together. I think I'm going to put black in my waterline today. I'm trying to get as close as I can to my lower lash line without poking myself in the eye. I haven't got a purple pencil anymore. I do own Lust from Urban Decor, which is still my favourite, but it's probably about 6 or 7 years old. I'm not sure if I should really be using that anymore. I keep things forever, so I might have to get a new one of those. That looks super cool on the lower lash line. We're going to tie it together with some shimmers on the lower lash line as well. But I love that combination. I think I've done it the other way with purple on the top and green on the bottom before, but never this way around. It's not revolutionary, is it? A lot of people have done it, but yeah, it's kind of cool. Can you use Don't Make Me Get My Broom to blend that out? We've only got one question left, which is what movie is on repeat at your house during spooky season? I'm not really a repeat watcher like in the same season. Like I wouldn't watch the same movie again and again in that same season, but over the years the movies that I've watched more than ever, I think, or more than any other, are Beetlejuice for sure, probably seen that 4 or 5 times. Nightmare Before Christmas, but is that a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie? I don't know. I think it's more of a Christmas movie in some ways, and it's, yeah, it's definitely about Christmas, but I guess you could call it either. Hocus Pocus I've watched a number of times. They're probably the ones. I'm going to watch Beetlejuice tonight, I think, because I've not seen it for a couple of years, so I think I want to see that tonight. I also want to try and blend that original purple into it a little bit more than it is now. I've got no primer down there at all in my lower lash line, and look how the pigment stays with Give Me Glow. It's such a good brand. So now with a brush with no additional product, just going to really work to diffuse that out. I've run out of questions too early, but it's been super fun to answer them. I hope some other creators might do it. I'm going to tag some people that I'd love to see do it, and I hope Steff does that as well, because it's just fun to like get in the holiday spirit, the spooky mood, isn't it? Before I go in with the shimmers, just going to plop on a bit of NYX glitter primer, and hopefully that'll smooth out that creasy area in the middle. That always happens with my creasy ancient old eyes. It doesn't really matter which primer I use anymore, they all crease on me. It's quite depressing really, but I'm working with it. So I want the contrast, so I'm going with this shade No Mortals Allowed in my inner part of my eye as my spotlight as such. I'm leaving a little bit of space either side because I think I'm going to blend it a little bit with the green shimmer just to help it flow. But I love this palette for the fact that it's got lots of contrast. Like you can really make some cool colour combinations with it. Looks insane at the moment because I've only gone through the middle, but I think it's going to work okay. On either side we're going in with Cheers Witches. I think that's really going to then help to, yeah, that's going to blend it in. The two will kind of mix together, and you can often smoosh a shimmer together way easier than you can smoosh a matte that's not the right sort of colours to go together. So I think this is going to take a little bit of back and forward, but I think it's going to work okay. Bring it up in kind of a circle, and then I'm just going to blend out a little bit more matte above it because I want it to go super high, and I think this is the easiest way for me to achieve that. Just going in with the lighter matte green just to further blend around the edges of everything now. Make it super spooky. So the last thing I want to do is add Cheers Witches, which was the green shimmer, just in this little section here of my lower lash line, just a little bit of interest and to tie everything together. So I'm just popping that there. So it's not much, you can't see it too much, but it just helps to tie everything together. Now I think we'll go in with the Soul Body highlighter in the inner corner, just to brighten things up just a tad, just in this inner corner here. Just a little twinkle there. Okay, so that's everything for the look to this point. Just going to hop off camera for mascara, a big black wing, something in my waterline and a lip, and I'll be back with you with the finished look and to wrap up the video. Okay guys, so this is the finished look and I love how it's turned out. It's so much fun. I thought I'd change up my headband for my spooky witch's hat and really get into the theme of it. And then I thought, well, I may as well just go the whole hog, so I've gone with a black lipstick as well, which is the shade from Melt. And yeah, it's been, yeah, so much fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And thank you so much, Steff, for asking me to do this. It's always a blast doing these. And I hope you will check out Steff if you've not already. I will, of course, link her channel down in my description box. And I'm going to tag a few more creators as well that I would love to see do this. And I want to see them bring out their witchiest, spookiest looks while they do it as well. So I hope Steff will tag some people as well. And let's just get a bit of spooky vibes and a bit of just fun going on beauty YouTube, because that's what I'm all about. So if you're new to my channel, I hope you might consider subscribing before you go. But thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.